Microsoft doing some of the fattest job cuts I've ever seen. I mean, this is performance review. They're cutting a few percentage of the jobs. 3,000 Microsoft employees, around that number, is being laid off. Now, what the spokesperson at Microsoft is saying is when people are not performing, they take appropriate action, confirming job cuts. Now, it's extremely harsh, and every single company has this excuse about how people are not performing well and they're laying people off. In reality, every single company, from a big giant multi-trillion-dollar company like Microsoft to your just $1 billion startup unicorn, every company is doing layoffs, from banks to the housing market to tech to even the CDC right now are doing massive layoffs. That's what we're seeing here. We are seeing fat layoffs across every single department, and good luck for us Americans who are trying to find a job. Right now, Microsoft's job cuts are one of the harshest I've ever seen because, at the very least, give them some severance. Microsoft has initiated performance-based job cuts that have affected employees without any severance pay. You are fired with immediate termination. Do not come to work. And by the way, you are not getting severance. This is the type of situation that we are seeing here. And you are clearly seeing that Microsoft wants to maintain a competitive edge, is what they're saying. My personal opinion, I think every company is doing layoffs. You could be a pretty decent employee and still be laid off. I mean, Meta's doing it, Apple's doing it, Google's doing it, but at the very least, Google is offering some sort of buyout for their hardware and platform teams. They actually offered this sort of buyout to 25,000 people at Google. This is not mandatory. And they're saying that if you quit right now, in their divisions like Android, Chrome, and different hardware divisions, which are huge and filled with talented engineers and people, if you work for this division, you could leave and they'll give you some money. And there are more than 25,000 full-time employees working at these units. And here's the thing. We don't really know how good the severance is, but I can tell you guys the severance isn't good enough for these people to quit. In fact, very few people have actually gotten this voluntary buyout. Very few people said yes, because when you work for Google, not only is it a status symbol, but also your benefits are great, the money is fantastic, and the working hours are pretty fantastic. You're working for one of the biggest tech companies in the world. You're in their nice campus. Benefits are fantastic. Why would you leave? Because if you leave Google right now and you take their little buyout and their severance package, where are you going to go? Microsoft in the past 3 years has been cutting employees and laying people off. And don't even think about trying to get a federal job right now, because literally every single company in the federal department is having job cuts. I mean, if you look into the tech market, it is dead, guys. I mean, look at this dude. Literally applied to 358 companies, 383 flat out rejections, 33 interviews, and only 4 job offers. And this is probably a guy who has a pretty decent LinkedIn and a very, very good background and all that stuff. And the fact that he applied to that many companies and just to get 4 offers, and a couple of those offers probably lowball offers, are not great. I mean, look at this. People are saying that it took him 100 applications, 6 interviews to secure an internship. This is some wild stuff, and people will be lowballing the crap out of you. Right now, domestic American tech workers are competing with the likes of foreign workers as well, because companies like Google, Amazon, Meta are all hiring foreign tech workers through the H-1B visa program. And look at Microsoft. You clearly see in the past 2 to 3 years, they've been cutting a lot of employees. Their headcount is decreasing. Even though the amount of tech workers in the United States has increased, the amount of hiring and the total amount of people working for Microsoft, for example, is going down. Microsoft has canceled new London office plans amid massive job cuts, but this isn't the only real estate cutback that's happening. Also, downtown Bellevue now has but left. They're done with downtown Bellevue. It's beautiful. Bellevue is actually a very, very nice area. It's actually very safe. It's on the right side of Seattle. It's a fantastic place. But when you have some of the biggest tech giants shutting down massive campuses, this is not a big vote of confidence. When you see this much office being dumped, layoffs are just going to happen. Not to mention, I don't think tech companies are expanding anytime soon, with Trump even approving of the Fed's decision to hold interest rates at a high rate. Right now, loans are super expensive, and when loans are expensive, companies won't borrow money and expand. And when they're not expanding, you have shrinkage. When you have shrinkage, you have office dumping and also people being fired. That's what we're seeing here in the U.S. tech industry right now. And the overall job industry in the US isn't great.